sun is out today. Oh, it feels so nice. Bet the chickens are happy with the plastic on there. It actually gets pretty nice in the run, so we'll see how they're doing this morning. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? Hi. So I ended up leaving the roosting bars in here. Once it got colder, they kind of figured out the whole sleeping out in the run issue, if you saw that on one of my earlier videos. So yeah, they just love hanging out here in the middle of the day. Right, guys? Even though it's pretty chilly, I think it's -5 this morning, but they love being out and about. So I'm a huge, huge fan of covered runs, that's for sure. What do you guys think? This little lady's my buddy. Right? You just love hanging out. And I love you. You're so cute with your polka dots. She's a speckled Sussex, which is one of my very favorite breeds, that's for sure. And look at all the fluff these Americanas have. They are just wonderful winter hardy breeds. They have tiny combs, tiny wattles, all the fluff. Love that breed for around here, that's for sure. You coming over to show off? You show them your muffs. Not very much skin exposed. Same with the Polish, look at her. She's like, winter? What? I had no idea. These two boys are hanging in there. They're doing pretty good. They have some minor frostbite on their combs, but not bad at all. You guys have no idea how wonderful that sun feels. I think we had a string of at least 2 to 3 weeks of pretty much no sun, which isn't all that uncommon here in Minnesota in the winter, unfortunately, but it eventually kind of gets to you. It's just kind of down, and yeah, so this sun is so welcome. I'm just like sitting in the sunbeam and I'm loving it. So, but what I'm working on today is I'm going to be making a wound wash to add to my herbal medicine toolkit. We've had a string of injuries here the last couple of weeks with the dogs just running around being crazy maniacs, and I got to realizing I don't have a good wound wash solution. I have a few things in my herbal medicine toolkit, but that is not one of them. And I have this awesome book. I'll link it in the description if you want to get a copy yourself. It's Prepper's Natural Medicine. There are so many great remedies in here, and the one I'm going to be making today is called a wound wash. And it's going to be super simple. We're just going to infuse 3 different herbs into witch hazel. So you can use a variety of different bases, I guess, or extraction agents when you're making infusions. You definitely don't want alcohol. Ouch, that would feel terrible in a wound. You don't want oil, that's not great in a wound either. So witch hazel is really a great choice here. So I'm gonna use that, and then we're gonna be adding dried thyme. That one's pretty easy to come by. You probably have that around, maybe even from your own garden, which is great. And then plantain is another one that we're gonna be using. Also a very common plant. You probably also have this growing around your home. Even if you're in a small city lot, I would go so far as to say as plantain is as easy to find as a dandelion. So this is a great one. If you don't have these herbs on hand, you can also buy them dried, especially this time of year. Even though I know I have a ton of plantain out there, I'm not gonna find it. It's not gonna be vibrant or alive or good for harvesting this time of year. And then the third ingredient is something from the berberine family. I've personally not found anything from that family on our property yet. That's gonna be my goal to keep an eye out for in this upcoming season. So I did have to buy that one. So within the group, what I got is Oregon grape root. And so we're gonna go ahead and use that. And again, I'll link all of these things in the description so you can follow along and make your own wound wash if you'd like. Okay, here we go. This is so super simple. So I just have my clean jar. I'm gonna add equal parts of all 3 of these herbs, and then we'll just cover it with the witch hazel. That thyme smells amazing. Reminds me of summer. Now the plantain I tucked away in full leaves. They retain more of the medicinal properties if they're not crushed. So go ahead and crush it now. Probably should get my little canning funnel, but whatever, this is working just fine. Just a little bit more messy. So that's probably equal parts of each, maybe one more plantain leaf. Okay, now we'll add the Oregon grape. I've never worked with this before. It doesn't really smell like much of anything. I believe Oregon grape is good for parasites too, but if I remember right. So there it is. I have it all mixed in. I did a hair more Oregon grape than the other stuff just because I had so much more of it. So I think that'll be fine. Now we'll add our witch hazel. So that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna add a lid to it. Now this is a special lid that I got a few weeks ago. I actually have these in a largemouth. Now the largemouth I've had for over a year, I think, and I just absolutely love it. What makes these different from a canning lid is that these aren't gonna corrode. And so this is a true stainless steel lid, and this is silicone to create the seal. And these are just awesome. I love to use these for my salad dressings. Those definitely get corroded fast. I have the big ones for my raw milk jars. Love these. I'll link these also if you're interested. Now I'm just gonna screw on the lid, give it a good shake. And that's looking great. So this needs some time. So I'm gonna put it in a cool, dark location. So just back on my herbal medicine shelf, back there in the storeroom, and give it 4 to 6 weeks. And I'll wanna make sure to shake it occasionally, you know, ideally daily, but to be honest, I'll probably do it a couple of times a week. And then when it's done infusing, I'll just strain out the herbs and put it in a little spray bottle. And this is gonna be awesome, awesome addition to my herbal first aid kit. And then lastly, the most important part is don't forget to label your jar. You'll tell yourself that you're gonna remember, but trust me, you won't. So always put what it is and when it'll be ready. So we just finished lunch. Ryan is done working in the shop. He was out there all morning working on the side-by-side. I feel like there's always something that needs fix. So it's so nice that Ryan is handy so he can get that up and running. So this afternoon, our goal is to work on winterizing this cabin. Now that we're in the depths of winter, we noticed that it feels pretty drafty. And so when we kind of put our hand down by the floorboards, we noticed that there's actually a really decent cold breeze coming in there. So couple nights ago now, Ryan pulled off a little bit of the trim to see what's going on in there. And lo and behold, the vapor barrier is short. So it has a gap of about 2 inches. So thankfully, I guess, we have to take off the floorboards anyways to do the flooring project, so kind of has to be done already, but I'm hoping that our fix will make a big difference because our propane stove has been running pretty much nonstop with how cold it's been. So, and it hasn't even been that cold either. I think the coldest we got was -10, and we can easily hit -35 around here. So yeah, we'll see if this works. And in the meantime, we've been putting towels all along the walls throughout the cabin, which is not a great look. So looking forward to getting those up, that's for sure. So far, prep stage is going well. I'm gonna do a little deep cleaning while I have the chance, and then we can start doing the repairs.
Alright, so this is the vapor barrier right here, and it doesn't go to the bottom of the wall. And so it is now, there is insulation there, but the siding on this house is corrugated steel. It's just pole barn style steel, and so it's ribbed, and that leaves air paths, and so air is coming up and through this gap and then underneath the trim and coming in the house. I was thinking about this. This probably wouldn't have been that big an issue if it had a traditional carpet setup where you would have had your trim on, you would have had a tack strip.
Tucker,
Chief Inspector.
can you?
So,
Tucker, come here.
so if there was a traditional style tack strip here, carpet pad, and the carpet would have been tucked under the trim, it may have actually worked okay because that would have, really plugged the gap. But this is short pile. I think it's glued. Yeah, it's glued to the subfloor.
That'll be fun to take up later.
Yeah, in fact, it's not moving, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that.
Yay.
Oh boy. So we have challenges. So we are gonna have to peel this carpet back to like here, so that we put expanding foam through here, try to seal the gap. It'll probably come out, and we'll cut it, and then it'll be all ready for the new floor and the new trim. Oh.
Ooh, there's a nail there.
There's a nail there.
Be careful.
And then the trim will go back on, and we'll be done. Thanks, Tucker.
So good at helping.
Here on the front porch, you can see where the air is actually coming from. This is our outside siding. It's just normal corrugated tin like you see on any pole barn. And it runs down right here, especially on the front porch here. There's nothing underneath it, so this is the bottom stud, or the bottom sill plate that everything is attached to inside. And it's fairly flat across here, but then there's a big gap here. So this is a big air opening. Comes right up by that 2x4, and with the way it was set up, just straight into the house. There's nothing to stop it. And that's all the way around the whole place.
Every time I use these vice grips, it reminds me of pulling out all those staples in our old kitchen.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
miserable.
I like filled a whole jar filled. The big jar. Oh, I think we're all bloody and bleeding by the end. Bruised. Is the carpet coming up okay?
It's, I mean, obviously I can't get underneath it back here, but if I just create a little air.
He's on my strap.
Tucker, man.
Okay.
Yep, so I can't get behind it here, but if I cut a little strip, I can just...
Oh, excellent. So it's coming up easier than we thought.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So we have the area completely prepped, cleaned, everything is tucked in nice, the carpet is pulled back. So now it's game time. You want to tell everybody what you're going to do?
Yeah, I bought this large gap filling expanding foam, and I'm going to just try and put it right directly underneath here. Let it expand up, it'll bulb out, it'll bulb in, but I want to seal best I can to this bottom edge, and then we'll come back and trim it later flush. And then when we do the wood floor, it'll come right up to it, and the trim will go down and it'll hide it.
Awesome.
It's the plan, just try and create a seal here. Hopefully a lot of it sticks to this plastic, which would be great. Basically finish that vapor barrier the rest of the way down.
And hopefully it'll keep the bugs out. We get a lot of Japanese lady beetles here.
Yeah.
I
right.
vacuumed so many up from the crevices, so hopefully That'll come in handy this fall. Big gap filler. I like it.
It's the tall cans too. I got 4 of these.
Hopefully it's enough. All right, let's give it a go.
All right.
There you can see how many Japanese lady beetles we have in our windowsill from this fall. They are just insane over here. I've never seen anything like it. So hopefully last fall was just a unique year and it won't be that bad every year. Ooh, Tucker's our cheerleader here. The other 2 dogs don't care for moving very much, so they're hiding in the office. They feel like we're gonna leave them or go on vacation or, heaven forbid, move again. It's looking good, Ryan.
Yeah. Curious how much it's really gonna expand. We could end up with it everywhere.
Oh boy, is it supposed to expand by double, right?
That's what it says. But it also says cold temperatures stunts the action, and we got a bunch of cold air coming in from outside right now, so
Oh, perfect.
who knows. But if it doesn't fill the gap all the way, I'll just come back through and put more in.
Yeah. Okay, everything is sealed up and it's already making such a huge difference. When I hold my hand to it, I can't feel that cold pouring in already. So we're gonna give it 24 hours to cure and harden. Then we'll come back and give it a trim. So good news, the expanding foam has made a huge difference already. It's fully puffed up and everything, and you can hardly feel any cold air coming in. And then of course, once we get the trim back on, it'll make some loud drinkers in here. So good news, can you stop, everyone, you're ruining my video. Yeah, but you are cute with those ears. So Ryan's all motivated, of course, and is already outside. He has a head start on me on finishing up our clearing project. If you missed that on our last video, definitely check it out to get caught up to speed. But yeah, let's get started. Well, I have a bummer of an update. We got out there and we chopped down a couple of logs, and then Ryan's lower back was just saying, no way, we are not doing this anymore. So the older we get, the more we realize that you just need to stop early and rest and recover so that we can get back to it sooner. So he's in there resting, poor guy. It's always so hard to have an injury. So we're gonna cap the video here, but I have some super exciting updates that are coming down the chute. So first of all, on Wednesday, I'm going to pick up our new flooring so we can finally rip up that carpet that I'm so can't even wait to get rid of. The other huge thing that Ryan just told me about today is that we are ready to start converting this cabin over to solar. So we are off-grid minus the electricity part. And so we're gonna convert both the shop and the cabin to solar, and it's gonna be a little bit more unique compared to our house build. So when we build our forever house, that'll be fully off-grid, but we are gonna stay plugged in so that we can do net metering. And so the benefit of that is once we move out of this cabin into our forever home, we can make money on pulling in power and then selling it back to the grid. So stay tuned for how we're going to set all of that up. That's going to be super neat. Make sure to subscribe, and thanks so much for being here.